Hey guys, David Peterson, Australia Unwrapped. So today we're going to have a quick look at some cables, some HDMI cables for 4K televisions in particular. I recently upgraded my TV from an older unit to match the Xbox One X's capacity, get more out of my gaming, and thought I'd just share with you the findings around this. So just before we get into the nitty gritty, just give you a breakdown. If you do find you're having troubles with your HDMI cable, it certainly might be worth looking at an upgrade. HDMI 1.1s, 1.2s, and 1.3s won't tolerate the data transfer requirements for 4K to get the most out of it. If you've got a HDMI 1.4 or above, you will be able to have some 4K support, some resolution support. This is without saying where you've got to look at what you're getting, where you're buying it, but also, guys, it's about future-proofing yourself, okay? It can, at 1.4, can support extremely high HD resolutions, don't get me wrong. However, with growing capacity, growing demand, new technology, it's always worth looking at getting the latest. So September 2013, HDMI 2.2 came out, 2.0 sorry, came out. It's now up to 2.0B, I believe. Now this added support for high dynamic range. This is what these cables do. These give you the most possible capacity out of your picture. They've got improved 3D, true Ultra 4K, and phenomenal data transfer rate. One thing that's often referred to is transition minimized differential signaling. This basically means is it's a technology for transmitting high speed serial data and is used in DVI and HDMI video interfaces. So what did I go with? Having browsed around, had a good look through, I decided to go with the HDMI fiber optic cable, 4K at 60 hertz, which gives me 18.2 gigabytes bandwidth to carry the 4K video data, which is fine. The one I ordered was a longer cable. Now remember, 10-meter cable, you're running a decent distance. In the cases of a longer data, longer cable, then this is where quality of cable matters, guys, over the longer distances. So it is worth, when you're covering a longer distance, definitely looking at spending a little bit of extra money. I found one from a company which I'll bring over now. Just drop into the screen, hang on. This one, easyhd.com.au, so an Australian company, and comes in a variety of sizes, gives all the data that you need to know. And like I said, with the HDMI cables, the high data transfer, it's certainly over longer distances worth looking at a more expensive HDMI cable. But just in the sense of giving you guys the full information, it's one thing I will have to say with data cables over the shorter areas. A HDMI 2 cable, 2.0, as long as it's been manufactured to spec, is a HDMI 2.0 cable. This one here that I got is the 2.0B, but the signal. So, as I mentioned earlier, the transmission minimized differential signaling, TDMS. It's got two basic aspects, okay? The first one is that the ones and the zeros at the source, so think about this is basically your binary code, are exactly the ones and zeros that your TV uses to create the picture. Not exactly in the same order, but fundamentally it's base code that the computer inter. So 101010, and then we get a fantastic picture through the end. And the second part of TDMS is the HDMI cable itself. Each HDMI cable is actually multiple small copper wires. Two versions of the data are sent over different wires, and one of these is out of phase with the real signal. The TV receives all the data and puts the out of phase signal back in phase, and then it compares it to the real signal. Any noise picked up along the way will now be out of phase, and as such you get a fantastic picture. Audio's the same. You're getting quality audio through your HDMI cable, and like I said, as long as HDMI cables are manufactured to spec from a reputable source, then they work the same way. The only time where you're going to find this different is where you're doing the long runs and you want to get a high quality cable. So I would strongly suggest, if you are in the market with a new 4K telly, you want to get most out your gaming experience, to certainly have a look at these guys, or have a look around some of your local stores. Grab a cable that is going to suit your needs, and just remember the principles of how HDMI cables work with your 1.1, HDMI 1.1, HDMI 1.2s, which aren't going to be any good. HDMI 1.3, you won't get the most out of your 4K telly. HDMI 1.4s, you can try this, guys. There's no reason not to. Theoretically, it should work, but you won't get the most out of the resolution. And if you've got the longer distances, HDMI 2. If you go with 2A and above, you get the high dynamic range video support. So you really are, with your HDMI 2.0Bs, be going to get the most out of your system, okay? Let's have a look here. And this one supports HDMI 2.0B with 18GB transfer and 4K at 60 Hz. So it's about as much as you're going to need. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out the article that covers this in a little bit more detail on Australia Unwrapped. Bye for now.